The echoing silence of a deserted train station at night, a chill wind whistling through the empty platforms, the distant rumble of an approaching train that never seems to arrive. Train stations have always held a certain mystique, haven't they? Places of arrivals and departures, of hellos and goodbyes, of hopes and dreams, carried on the wind. But what happens when the passengers are gone, and the only souls left behind are the ones who never left? Tonight, we delve into the dark heart of these places, into the forgotten corners where shadows linger and whispers echo with the weight of unspeakable tragedies. We journey to 3 haunted train stations, where the living dare not tread and the dead linger, forever bound to the iron rails that claimed their final breath. So dim the lights, turn up the volume, and prepare yourself for 3 ghosts of haunted train stations, spirits waiting for a train that never comes. Our first stop takes us deep into the heart of Pennsylvania, to a desolate stretch of track where the whispers of a phantom conductor echo through the night. They say he was once a dedicated employee, a man who lived and breathed the railroad, who knew every mile of track and every curve of the line like the back of his hand. But one fateful night his train, filled with unsuspecting passengers, derailed in a fiery crash that claimed the lives of all aboard, including his own. Now his spirit is said to roam the platform, his lantern swinging, his voice a mournful cry in the darkness. Some say he's searching for his lost passengers, forever bound to guide them on a journey that will never end. Others whisper that he's looking for someone to take his place, to ease his burden and finally allow him to find peace. Witnesses describe a tall, gaunt figure in a tattered conductor's uniform, his face obscured by the shadows of his cap. They say his eyes glow with an eerie light, and his voice, when he speaks, is a low, guttural growl that sends chills down your spine. A spectral whistle pierces the night, a sound that freezes the blood and stops the heart. Some have reported seeing him board empty trains, his lantern casting long, dancing shadows on the walls of the carriages. The trains, they say, then vanish into the night, their whistles echoing in the distance, a haunting reminder of the tragedy that binds the phantom conductor to this earthly realm. One chilling account tells of a young woman waiting alone on the platform late one night. The air was thick with fog, and the only sound was the mournful cry of the wind. Suddenly, she heard the distinct sound of footsteps approaching, heavy and measured, like those of a man in boots. She turned, expecting to see a fellow traveler, but instead she found herself face to face with the phantom conductor. His eyes, 2 burning embers in the darkness, seemed to bore into her soul. He raised his hand, pointing a gnarled finger towards the end of the platform. "This way," he rasped, his voice like dry leaves rustling in the wind. "Your train awaits." Terrified, the woman fled, the conductor's laughter echoing behind her. She never forgot the chilling encounter, the image of the phantom conductor forever seared into her memory. The stories continue, each one adding to the legend of the phantom conductor, a chilling reminder that some journeys never truly end. Our journey continues, leading us now to the bustling metropolis of Tokyo, Japan, where amidst the neon lights and hurried footsteps lies a station haunted by a sorrow so profound it transcends the veil of death. They call her the weeping passenger, a young woman forever bound to the platform where she drew her final breath. Her story is one of heartbreak and loss, a tale woven into the very fabric of the station itself. Legend has it she was deeply in love with a young soldier who left to fight in a distant war. Every day she would wait for him at the station, her heart filled with both hope and dread. One day the news arrived that her beloved had fallen in battle, his life cut tragically short. Overwhelmed by grief, she took her own life on the very platform where she had so patiently awaited his return. Now her spirit is said to roam the station, her sobs echoing through the cavernous halls, a haunting melody of despair. Witnesses describe her as a beautiful young woman in a white dress, her long black hair cascading down her back like a silken waterfall. Her face, though, is forever stained with tears, a mask of eternal sorrow. They say she wanders the platform, searching for her lost love among the faces of the countless strangers who pass through each day. Some believe she is searching for a way to reunite with her beloved, her spirit unable to find peace until she is once again by his side. Others say she is trapped, forever reliving the moment she received the devastating news, the pain of her loss too great for her to move on. One chilling account tells of a young musician who would often practice his violin at the station late at night, the echoing acoustics providing the perfect backdrop for his melancholic melodies. One evening as he played, he noticed a young woman in a white dress standing at the edge of the platform, her shoulders shaking with silent sobs. Concerned, he approached her, asking if she was all right. As he drew closer, he was struck by her beauty, but also by the profound sadness that seemed to emanate from her very being. She turned to face him, her eyes red and swollen from crying, and for a moment he felt a chill run down his spine. Before he could speak another word, she vanished into thin air, leaving the young musician shaken and terrified. He never played at the station again, the memory of the weeping woman forever haunting his dreams. Our final destination takes us to the misty moors of northern England, where a solitary train station stands as a testament to a tragedy that unfolded long ago. Amidst the swirling fog and desolate landscape, the legend of the lost engineer continues to haunt the rails. He was once a skilled and dedicated engineer who took pride in his work and the powerful machines he commanded. But one fateful night, his train, speeding through the thick fog, derailed, plunging into a ravine and claiming the lives of all aboard. Now his spirit is said to haunt the tracks, forever trying to right the wrongs of that tragic night. Some say he's searching for his lost train, desperately trying to piece together the wreckage. Others whisper that he's trying to warn others, to prevent another tragedy from unfolding on those cursed rails. Witnesses describe seeing a spectral light moving along the tracks, a flickering lantern that seems to dance in the mist. They say it's the lost engineer still making his rounds, his spirit forever bound to the rails he loved so much. One chilling account tells of a group of teenagers who dared to spend the night in the abandoned station, eager to test the local legends. As the night wore on and the fog rolled in, they began to hear strange noises, the clang of metal on metal, the hiss of steam escaping from unseen pipes. Then they saw it. A flickering light moving slowly towards them, growing brighter with each passing moment. Terrified, they huddled together, watching as the light resolved itself into the shape of a man carrying a lantern. He was dressed in the garb of a bygone era, his face obscured by the shadows of his cap. As he drew closer, they could hear the mournful sound of a train whistle echoing through the night, a sound that seemed to come from all directions at once. The figure stopped in front of them, his lantern casting long, eerie shadows on the walls of the station. For a moment, everything was silent, the air thick with tension and fear. Then the figure raised his hand, pointing a gloved finger towards the tracks. "Beware the fog," he rasped, his voice a chilling whisper that seemed to cut through their very souls. It plays tricks on the mind and leads the unwary astray. With that, the figure vanished into thin air, leaving the teenagers in stunned silence. They fled the station, their hearts pounding in their chests. They never forgot their encounter with the lost engineer, a chilling reminder that some tragedies never truly end. 3 haunted train stations, 3 tragic tales of loss and despair. The phantom conductor, forever searching for his lost passengers, the weeping passenger, forever mourning her lost love, and the lost engineer, forever trying to prevent another tragedy. Their stories serve as chilling reminders that sometimes, even in death, we are bound to the places and the people we loved most in life. They remind us that the veil between this world and the next is thin, and that sometimes the echoes of tragedy linger long after the event itself has passed. What do you think about these haunted train stations? Have you ever had a paranormal experience in a place like this? Share your stories in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more chilling tales from the dark side. Until next time, sleep tight if you dare.